All right, so I'm here with the Buttery Bros, two guys that need no introduction whatsoever. We got Marston, Sawyers, and Heber, creators of the #1 movie in America on iTunes.
Yeah.
Guys, how does it feel just coming off of that movie, that production, and just seeing that number and seeing how popular CrossFit has now become in America?
Yeah, I would say we're super grateful, and it's cool to see that the community's all fired up about it. And we have never got that high on the Apple TV charts before, and so when we did, we were both on a boat. Heber jumped off the boat. He was in a frolic of joy. So yeah, we're just kind of riding the wave right now, and we're gonna have it come out on all the other platforms on August 3rd, so there'll be like a whole nother wave then.
It might be August 6th.
Maybe 6th.
Might be 6th, so don't quote us on the 3rd.
August 6th. We'll be sure to make sure everybody knows exactly what date it is. Let's talk a little bit about how you guys got started in this. Now, you're a huge presence in CrossFit, very well known, literally millions of views on the videos you guys produce on your YouTube channel, but it's been a long time getting there, and you got your start inside of CrossFit. Tell us a little bit about the genesis of that and how you got into it.
Genesis of working with CrossFit?
Yeah.
So growing up, I always made movies. Since I was a little kid, I would be working on a camera with the VHS tape in there, and then I would edit from VHS to VHS. And around that same time, the Rocky movies came out. And the best part of the Rocky movies is what? The training montage of Rocky running up the mountain, carrying a log. And so flash forward, I'd still been making videos since I was 8 to now I'm in high school and now college. And I saw training like CrossFit. I actually saw Jim Jones. So for the movie 300, they were training this style of training. And I said, I want to do that. That's the kind of fitness I want to do. And found a CrossFit gym, paid for my membership by making movies and videos about it. And now flash forward another 12 years and I make Rocky training montages for a living.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so I grew up doing a bunch of video of just me and my friends and people around me, and it was, I eventually got more into filming sports and doing stuff like that. I worked at a racetrack when I got out of college, and I was also doing stuff with CrossFit, and I was trying to figure out is making videos of people working out all day really gonna be a thing? And it kind of did, and we moved to Santa Cruz and we started doing those shows for ESPN, and eventually got into doing the documentaries that we know and enjoy. And then we eventually, I'm kind of jumping way ahead here, but in 2018 we left CrossFit and decided to start Buttery Bros, and now we've been doing this for about 2 years, and it's been quite the experience.
It's been a little buttery.
Yeah,
awesome.
we're very vibrant.
You're clearly very vibrant. You guys have two very vibrant personalities. I want to tell you, curiosity, how did you come up with the name? What was that conversation like? And
well, buttery was something we always used to say when we'd be out on the floor and we'd hit a nice composed shot. We'd both come over all giggly and giddy and be like, bro, look at the shot.
Check it out.
Super buttery.
Uh-huh.
So that we knew we wanted it to be something with buttery. And when we were getting ready to make the YouTube channel, you have to say something, and I was like, it can't just be buttery, we're Buttery Bros. So we threw that up there. It was right before Wadapalooza in 2019, and then we're walking around the event and people were like, this is Buttery Bros. And I'm like,
guess it's stuck.
all right.
Yeah.
Now, I'm curious a little bit about your creative process. Now, you guys have two kind of different, distinct styles of production. You've got the Buttery Bros episodes where you're going around, you got this high energy, high octane content, and then you have more of the serious production on the side where you're telling sports stories, right? What is a little bit of your creative process as you're coming down and you're actually opening up the canvas for the first time and you're saying, all right, look, we want to tell this kind of a story. What are those conversations like as you're planning and going through that planning phase?
Well, I think you're finding the tone of which fits which, especially when we're dual shooting. So if we're shooting the CrossFit Games or we're shooting the documentary piece and we're shooting the Buttery Bros, you definitely are with athletes when they're in stressful moments, and that doesn't always fit well with the Buttery Bros vibe. And so you almost have to take your buttery hat off, focus on that moment and that athlete for a minute, and then if they want to, invite them into kind of our playtime. So when I was filming Froning, I would film Froning work out all day, and then he would rest in between his workouts, and I'd hop into the workouts and I'd hit him with the same energy that I'm hitting these videos right now, but I wasn't filming it. And then I would get back onto my director's hat and put on the red camera, and I'd shoot his beautiful little workout, and the second he's done, I'm hopping in the lake and I'm swimming and I'm having a good time. And so it's kind of there's two hats to wear, but both are very exciting and fun, and finding a way to make sure that you edit for this or edit for that. And sometimes that gets a little difficult because there's things that you want to put in both, and there's things that we have put in both if they're a knockout line we put them in both, and they work both in our show and the documentaries for sure.
And then as far as like each movie, we try to have like a different feel or a different theme in each one. So obviously like 2015, we were just trying to cover it as best we could. That was the first time we'd ever like done a recap documentary of the games. 2016 was a lot more looking back at the history, because that was when it was like the 10 years of CrossFit and it was a decade of fitness. 2017, there was like the controversy with, you know, the guy that ended up on the podium. You know, you might need to go rewatch that, Ricky G. And then obviously, well, like 2019, we look back on all the shakeups of 2018, us getting fired, all the media like kind of getting reset. And then 2020, obviously, it was COVID. It was the implosion of CrossFit there for a little while. And then the kind of the resurgence of this new leadership and in sport. And early on in those docs, it was really hard, because you had, you know, such a wide field that you try to pick people, you know, and like you're trying to pick your characters, you know, and then sometimes like in 2015 and 16, Tia just ends up at the podium at the end of the weekend, and you're like, whoops, you know, but sometimes you just got to pick your characters and stick with them, you know. So on Resurgence, you only had 10 athletes total, and I felt like we could at least give every athlete a lot more screen time and flesh out their story a lot more.
And now, a big production like those documentaries, those annual documentaries you guys have put together, how long do those really take to edit? How many hours do you guys sift through footage, and when do you really start actually starting that process? Like, how long? What's that timeline?
As we go. So like, we're producing these Buttery Bros shows, and we keep them very simple and less camera based, just so we can turn them around quicker. Like, that's kind of the some of the joy of these, is that they, like, we put out an episode on Thursday morning of what happened Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday here at the CrossFit Games. The CrossFit Games, like the documentaries that we make though, we take our time with those and we let them simmer, and we let the storylines build based on interviews that we get. So we start pulling selects on the edit, and then have some assistant editors or editors begin making a rough cut, and that takes a long time, because it's not just a single camera capturing what's going on. It's multiple camera angles, multiple camera interviews, and then finding the best nuggets, piecing them together, and figuring out like, what does this soundbite sound like after this one, or do we move this around? It's a lot more intricate, and that takes us, like, if the games end in July or early August, it takes us usually till the end of November before we have a really good rough cut, and then all the way through the middle of January to have a final colored mix that we're handing off to someone else. And then it takes them 3 months to get it ready for distribution.
And I got a little bit of a glimpse of the behind the scenes of that when you guys sent, and we did it over Zoom, Skype, and you were sitting there in my living room, and I'm like right here, and there's the screen, and you're asking me questions.
By the way, you crushed it.
Thank you. You know, fresh mahogany and leather-bound books, and you know, exactly.
I was like, make yourself feel like you're at home.
I was like, definitely feel like I'm at home.
I felt like that was like a modern hipster coffee shop.
Yeah.
No, it's like a big Martin Chalk. I've got a big chalkboard wall behind me. I like write things down in chalk. You know, I got a nice little whiskey wall there, a little exposed brick.
Morning whiteboard doesn't sound as good.
Morning whiteboard. No one reads that. I don't know if you know. You know, there are 0 subscribers to the morning whiteboard. Okay, last question. Obviously, you're enjoying the success of this Resurgence. It just came out. What's next for you guys on the horizon? What stories you guys have planned to tell? Any nuggets you want to drop here that fans can come to expect from you guys?
So we're not done making documentaries. We want to keep doing that. We're not making one here at the games this year, but there's still a lot of stuff that we want to do with Buttery Bros. Like, there's awesome experiences that we've got to do through this show and through. I mean, we actually started Buttery Bros as a way to make documentaries, and then along the way, we're like sitting there, we're like,
wow, there's so much more opportunity doing this. And like, for me, I look at this as like, what do I want my life resume to be when I die? Like, what do I want to have experienced? And I've got such an awesome opportunity to get this to take me wherever I want to go and experience anything that I want to experience. It's like, that's the focus right now.
I think you certainly built a pretty impressive resume. I did search you on IMDb, both of you. You guys, you're looking pretty good. Your profile's beefing out.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
Oh yeah, pretty good numbers.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Well, hey, thanks so much for taking a little bit of time out from what you guys are doing. I know it's super hectic this weekend. It's always great to catch up, and congratulations again. Boom.
Thanks, man.
Boom.
God.
There we go.
Do one of these.
What is this? What are we doing? What are we doing right now?
Yes, perfect.
What is this?
You
clearly don't watch the Buttery Bros.
Yeah.